The body under the bed. Imagine checking into a hotel room, ready for a relaxing night, only to discover a foul smell that won't go away. You might think it's bad plumbing or leftover trash, but what if it's something far more sinister? The urban legend of a body under the bed has terrified travelers for decades. But this horrifying tale isn't entirely fictional. In real life, this scenario has occurred multiple times. In 1999, a couple staying at a casino hotel in Atlantic City complained of a strange odor. The staff ignored their complaints until they decided to inspect under the bed. To everyone's horror, they found a decomposing body stuffed in the box spring. Similarly, in Florida, 1996, and later in Kansas City, 2003, similar discoveries shocked the public. What makes this tale chilling is its simplicity. Hotels are transient spaces where anonymity thrives. This anonymity, combined with the high turnover of guests, provides the perfect cover for such crimes. Killers may assume that staff or subsequent guests won't investigate unusual smells. The story also taps into our fear of unseen dangers lurking in seemingly safe places. It's a stark reminder to remain vigilant even in places designed for comfort. The killer clown. Clowns are meant to bring joy, but for many they are a source of fear. The killer clown legend amplifies this fear, telling stories of clowns committing heinous crimes. While most dismiss this as irrational, one real-life monster proved the legend true: John Wayne Gacy. In the 1970s, Gacy was a respected community figure who dressed as Pogo the Clown for charity events. Behind the facade, however, he was a cold-blooded murderer who lured young men to his home. Over 6 years, Gacy killed 33 victims, burying most under his house. His crimes shocked the world and forever changed the way we view clowns. Gacy's dual life taps into our deepest fears, the idea that evil can wear an innocent mask. It's unsettling to think someone could be so normal in public, yet commit such atrocities in private. The story also highlights the dangers of unchecked trust in people who appear friendly or charitable. The killer clown legend endures because it embodies the horror of betrayal by someone who should symbolize joy. The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. A young babysitter receives chilling phone calls asking, "Have you checked the children?" At first, she dismisses them as pranks, but when the calls persist, she contacts the police, who trace the calls back to inside the house. This urban legend has haunted parents and babysitters alike, but it's not just a story. In 1950, Janet Chrisman, a 13-year-old babysitter in Missouri, was brutally murdered while on duty. She reportedly received strange calls before her death. The crime remains unsolved, but the circumstances closely mirror the legend. The tale plays on the vulnerability of being alone in an unfamiliar home and the fear that danger might be closer than you think. This story is profound because it captures the tension between safety and risk. Babysitters are entrusted with a huge responsibility, yet they're often left alone in vulnerable situations. The legend also reflects societal fears about domestic spaces not being as secure as we believe. It's a grim reminder to always stay aware, even in familiar environments.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
The Hook-Handed Killer. A young couple drives to a secluded spot for privacy when a news bulletin warns of an escaped killer with a hook for a hand. Frightened, they leave quickly, only to find a hook dangling from their car door. This creepy tale, often told at campfires, has roots in real-life crimes. During the 1940s and 50s, several unsolved murders occurred at lovers' lanes across the U.S., particularly in Texarkana. Dubbed the Phantom Killer, the perpetrator attacked couples parked in secluded areas, leaving communities in terror. While no hook-handed figure was ever confirmed, the fear of such attacks became deeply ingrained in the public consciousness. The story resonates because it mixes intimacy with vulnerability. Lovers' lanes symbolize escape and romance, but in these stories, they become traps. The legend warns against recklessness, highlighting how quickly safety can vanish when we let our guard down. It's a cautionary tale about the balance between freedom and prudence. The Candyman poisoned Halloween candy. Halloween is a time for fun and sweet, but this urban legend tells of poisoned candy handed out by strangers. Parents inspect every treat in fear of danger. While this seems like paranoia, the case of Ronald Clark O'Brien in 1974 brought the legend to life. O'Brien laced his son's Halloween pixie sticks with cyanide, intending to collect a life insurance payout. His plan failed, but his crime sent shockwaves across the nation. Although random poisonings are rare, this single act has fueled decades of anxiety around Halloween safety. This story's power lies in its focus on betrayal within trusted spaces. Trick-or-treating relies on community trust, yet O'Brien exploited this trust in the worst way. It's a grim reminder that vigilance is crucial, even in traditions rooted in innocence and joy. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Picture this. A driver picks up a lone hitchhiker, only for them to vanish without a trace, sometimes leaving behind a scarf or a cryptic message. This ghostly tale, told worldwide, has roots in both folklore and true events. Many hitchhiker stories involve supernatural twists, but others are grounded in real-life tragedies. Hitchhikers have been abducted, disappeared, or tragically killed, leading to chilling encounters that seem like ghost stories. In some cases, the vanishing hitchhiker was later identified as the spirit of someone who died tragically in the same area. This legend is so compelling because it blurs the line between the living and the dead. It reminds us of the risks of the open road and the haunting legacies of those lost too soon. Whether ghostly or real, it's a story that keeps us questioning what's out there in the unknown. 7. The rat in the fast food meal. Fast food is meant to be quick, convenient, and tasty. But the idea of biting into something horrifying, like a rat, is the stuff of nightmares. This urban legend tells of customers discovering rats, insects, or other grotesque objects hidden in their meals. One of the most infamous cases occurred in 2003 when a customer in New York claimed to have found a deep-fried rat in their bucket of chicken from a popular fast food chain. Although the restaurant disputed the claim, the mere possibility shocked the public. Other instances include burgers found with foreign objects like glass shards or even human fingers, raising concerns about food safety standards. What makes this story chilling is its betrayal of trust. Fast food chains are built on promises of consistency and reliability, but violations of these expectations shake our faith in everyday conveniences. The legend also highlights hidden dangers in industrial food production, where speed and volume can lead to quality lapses. This tale is a reminder to stay vigilant about what we consume and to demand accountability for food safety. Neglect can have dangerous and stomach-turning consequences. 8. The Poisonous Hairdo. The idea of a poisonous or infested hairdo may seem exaggerated, but this legend of 1960s women maintaining elaborate hairstyles has an eerie backstory. These women reportedly refused to wash their hair for weeks, leading to scalp infections or infestations by insects. While no confirmed deaths exist, neglecting hair hygiene can cause severe scalp infections or even parasitic infestations like lice or maggots. The legend likely stems from rare cases combined with the cultural emphasis on elaborate beauty standards during the 1960s. This tale unsettles because it portrays vanity turning deadly. The 1960s beehive hairstyles required layers of hairspray and intense maintenance, leading some to avoid basic hygiene. The legend warns against obsessively prioritizing beauty over health. On a broader level, it reflects fears of conformity and unattainable beauty standards, cautioning us to balance appearance with self-care. 9. Snakes in the toilet. The urban legend of snakes in toilets is bizarre, yet not entirely impossible. Imagine sitting in the safety of your bathroom, only to feel something alive slithering under you. In certain parts of the world, this is a real risk. Reports of snakes in plumbing systems exist globally. In Australia, pythons have crawled through sewer systems, ending up in toilets. In Texas, 2016, a family found a rattlesnake in their toilet, later discovering an entire den of snakes nearby. This tale is terrifying because it invades one of our most private spaces. The thought of a dangerous animal in such a vulnerable setting taps into primal fears. On a broader level, it symbolizes our discomfort with nature encroaching on human spaces. Modern plumbing represents control, yet these stories show that nature can breach even our most secure boundaries. 10. Black-eyed children. The legend of black-eyed children features pale, emotionless kids with entirely black eyes who appear at night asking to enter homes or cars. While largely supernatural, real-life encounters have fueled its eerie reputation. This legend gained traction in the 1990s when journalist Brian Bethel shared his experience of two black-eyed children asking for a ride in his car. Their unsettling behavior and ominous eyes left him inexplicably afraid. Since then, Stories suggest these children bring misfortune to those who let them in. The chilling mix of innocence and malevolence makes this tale unsettling. Children are associated with purity, but the black-eyed children subvert this perception, appearing as impostors. This story taps into the fear of the unknown. Are these children ghosts, aliens, or something else? Their mystery keeps us uneasy, wondering what might knock on our door next. 11. The Kidney Heist. The Kidney Heist legend tells of an innocent person waking up in a bathtub full of ice with a note warning them to seek medical help because one of their kidneys has been surgically removed. While this sounds like a thriller movie, real-life cases of organ trafficking echo this chilling story. In 1997, reports from India revealed impoverished individuals being tricked or forced into giving up their kidneys. They were lured with job promises only to wake up missing an organ. Other cases involved individuals selling their kidneys in black market organ trades under coercion or deception. This legend resonates with fears of exploitation and the dehumanization of vulnerable populations. It highlights ethical concerns in global healthcare, where organ shortages lead to desperate measures. It's a stark reminder to avoid too good to be true opportunities involving unverified individuals or agencies. 12. Buried alive. The fear of being buried alive has inspired tales of people waking up in coffins, desperately trying to escape. While it seems far-fetched, history reveals chilling examples of this. Before modern medicine, diagnosing death was imprecise. In the 18th and 19th centuries, cases of premature burial were common. To combat this, safety coffins were invented, with air tubes and bells to signal if the buried person was still alive. In one case from 1880s France, a woman was exhumed, revealing scratch marks on the inside of her coffin. This legend endures because it taps into primal fears of loss of autonomy, being trapped, and helplessness. While medical advances have reduced this risk, the legend reminds us of human fallibility and fears of misdiagnosis. 13. The Licked Hand. Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light? This tale tells of a young girl who feels her dog licking her hand for comfort during the night, only to discover the dog dead in the morning and a message in blood reading, "Humans can lick too." Real-life parallels include cases of intruders hiding in homes unnoticed. In 2019, a South Carolina woman discovered a stranger living in her attic for weeks, sneaking around her home and watching her. This legend preys on trust in familiar environments and unseen threats. The betrayal of trust, the dog replaced by something evil, is deeply unsettling, reminding us that danger might already be inside. 14. The death omen of the phone call. This legend tells of receiving a phone call from a mysterious number with strange static or cryptic messages, only to learn that the caller had died hours or days earlier. A famous incident involves Charles Peck, who died in a 2008 train accident in California. After his death, family members received multiple calls from his phone, which only stopped after his body was recovered. Investigators confirmed he had died at the time of the crash. This legend resonates because it blurs the line between life and death. The idea of technology connecting to the supernatural is unsettling, involving devices we use daily. It reflects hopes of contacting loved ones who have passed, mixed with fear and mystery.